to perform an auto tune, which is the little button just down the bottom here next to your threshold. This is doing essentially what we did in the manual tune section here, but automatically. So it will go through and tune out any electronic interference in the area automatically.
So with that, I've heard two different things with the auto tune.
Yeah.
In that some people say if you're in an area that's got some electrical interference, or you suspect it's got electrical interference, you hold the machine up, and that's the Mind recommendation. I've also heard the school of thought where if there's no electrical interference, you put the coil on the ground to perform the auto tune. Do you have any thoughts on that, or because it's often that's a bit of a debate there?
Yeah, well, essentially it really doesn't make any difference whatsoever. However, I sort of utilise a hybrid method, which is essentially holding the machine up, doing a 360-degree turnaround to hear if there's any noise coming from one particular direction. If there is, I'll then put the detector down on the ground and perform the noise cancel. My rationale is you don't have interference, or you're not detecting 3 foot in the air with your coil. It's on the ground when you're detecting.
That's exactly right.
And that way you get best of both worlds.
Right, so auto tune, threshold, smashed out. So then, next step is probably ground balance, I suppose.
The next step is your ground balance. So because we have our switch on fixed ground balance here, to ground balance the detector, we need to press and hold the green button on the handle.
So let's just delve into that a little bit. So that green button on the handle is the opposite of what that switch is. So that's the automatic switch it back to the other thing.
Exactly. So if we're in fixed on the front switch, when we press this button, it puts the detector into a state of very fast automatic ground balance. And when we let go, it stops.
It goes back to fixed.
It goes back to fixed. If we have the switch on the front in tracking mode, we tap the green button and it puts the machine into a very fast automatic ground balance. But yeah, essentially press and hold because we're running in fixed.
And really that's how everyone should be running it.
Yes.
Fixed.
To my train of thought, running in fixed is always best, because if you have a very tiny or very deep target and you sweep repeatedly over it,
you don't want to track it out.
Exactly, you could track it out. But in fixed, it's got to do it manually, but it's worth it.
So let's talk. We had a conversation today actually about tone. Right. And this is sort of something you've got to test for yourself a little bit, isn't it? So just explain tone to us. There's a setting on the machine called tone. Let's just explain tone to us, correct?
So maybe if we get the camera around the back, I'll see if we can find our tone setting. So essentially we've got a setting called audio tone. Now this has realistically zero impact on the machine's ability to see targets. However, it's real important to set this tone to what your hearing level is. So some people like myself, being a musician and 20 years of playing a very loud musical instrument, I've lost a lot of my high pitch hearing ability. So I can hear better when I turn the tone down low. Whereas some people that maybe work in machine shops or have a lot of industrial noise around them, they might have lost a lot of their low pitch hearing, and they'll benefit by having a higher tone. And the way I teach people to set your tone is to just start in the middle, start turning it up and up and up. If it sounds like it's getting louder to you, simply go back the other way and turn it down and down and down. And just stop when it sounds like it's loudest to you. It won't actually be any louder at all, but that will be putting it into your personal hearing range.
And well, personally, I like to run it right down low because of probably the damage to my hearing. And people who have got different sort of damage to the hearing, everyone's got damage to the hearing, of course. They you get a few bit of age about. So some people might have different damage to their hearing and they run it high sort of thing, so it doesn't affect the machine.
No.
So